Texas, the Lone Star State, the second largest state by population and area, the only state to ever be its own country at any point in history. The fact that it was its own country at one point in history gave it a unique ability that it still has today. Since the 1840s, after the United States had annexed Texas from the Mexicans, Congress concluded that such a large area like Texas could not be governed as a single state. In the end, Texas was given a special ability, the ability to divide into as many as 5 states whenever it wanted. Permission from the federal government was not needed. Even though it hasn't divided yet, despite many proposals in the 1840s and 50s, Texas can still break up. Today I will be talking about some of the possible states that could form and some information as to where they would stand on the United States and global stage. A small side note, this will likely never happen. None of these states will likely ever form, especially not during any of our lifetimes. Before I get started, I have to note that I will be discussing 3 kinds of states. First, there will be normal states, and then there will be states named after Mexican states with the word Nuevo in front of it. And then there will be city-states, which I will start with. I will start with the state of El Paso, which has a population of about 840,000 and would rank 47th out of the 50 current United States. It also has a GDP of 26.4 million and would rank below every single state in the United States. Another possible city-state is the state of San Antonio, which has a population of 1.95 million and would rank 37th in the United States. It also has a GDP of 102 million and would rank 38th in the United States for GDP. The city-state that I think would be most possible would be the city-state of Austin, which has a population of 1.22 million and would rank 43rd in population in the United States. It also has a GDP of 94 million, which would rank it 39th in the current 50 states. Another very possible city-state that would emerge in this situation would be the city-state of Houston, which has a population of 4.6 million, which would rank it 26th in the United States, and a GDP of 418 million, which would rank it 15th in the United States, above Maryland. The final city-state I will be looking at is Dallas-Fort Worth, which would include the counties of Dallas and Tarrant in the northern part of Texas. Its population would be about the same as Houston, maybe about 20 million more. It would achieve the same rank as Houston in the 50 states currently, and its GDP would be 350 million, almost exactly the same as the entire state of Minnesota, which would give it the rank 18 in the current 50 states. Now I will be looking into the 3 new Mexican states that would come of Texas. The first new Mexican state I will be looking at is the state of Nuevo Tamaulipas, which the capital would be Corpus Christi, located in the north. Its size would be just under 37,000 square kilometers. It would have a population of just under 2 million, ranking it 38th in the United States, and its GDP would be about 54 million, ranking it 47th out of the current 50 states. Another new Mexican state I will be looking at is Nuevo Coahuila. Its size would be just over 90,000 square kilometers. Its population would be about 610,000, which would rank it 49th out of 50 states, just above Wyoming. And its GDP would be the lowest out of all 50 states with 20 million. Its capital would be Laredo in the southwest. The final New Mexican state I will be looking at is Nuevo Chihuahua. Its capital would be El Paso in the west. Its size would be just over 80,000 square kilometers. Its population would be just over 900,000, ranking it 46th in the United States, and its GDP would be lower than all 50 states at 29.4 million. And now on to the normal states, of which there are 8. The first normal state I will be looking at is the state of Big Bend. Its capital is Terlingua, and Big Bend is named after the national park in southern Texas. It would be just under 23,000 square kilometers in size. It would have about 16,000 people living in it and a GDP of about $570,000. It would be the smallest state on many scales throughout the United States. The second normal state I will be looking at is Red River along the northern part of the state. Its capital would be Wichita Falls. It would be just under 50,000 square kilometers in size, and it would rank 36 in both population and GDP due to the northern part of the suburbs of Dallas and Fort Worth being in this state. Its population would be about 2.7 million, and its GDP would be about 112.5 million. The third state I will be looking at is the state of Midland in the western part of Texas. Its capital would be Midland towards the middle of the state. It has just over 100,000 square kilometers in area. Its population would be just over 1.2 million, which would rank it 43rd in the United States, and its GDP would be just over 83.8 million, which would rank it 39th in the United States. The next state I will be looking at is the state of Laredo. The capital would be the city of Laredo in the southwestern part of the state. Its size would be about 11,000 square kilometers. It would have about 400,000 people living in it, and its GDP would be about 12 million. The second two categories, it ranks below all 50 states. Another commonly proposed state is the state of Gulfland. Its capital would be Houston. It has 55,500 square kilometers in area. Its population would be 7.7 million, ranking it 13th in the United States, and its GDP would be 541 million, ranking it 10th in the United States. The next state I will be looking at is the state of Panhandle, which is the area in the northern part of Texas that borders Oklahoma's Panhandle. Its capital would be Amarillo. Its population would be 434,918, which would be below all 50 states. Its GDP would be about 25 million, which would also be below all 50 states, and its size would be just over 64,000 square kilometers. The final state I will be looking at is the state of Alamo in the central part of Texas. It would be centered around the Alamo in San Antonio. It would have about 24,500 square kilometers of area. Its population would be about 2.87 million. Its GDP would be 131 million, which would rank it 36 in both categories in the current United States. Right, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Wait a second. So back in the 1930s, there was a surge in dividing Texas, but the divisionists took it one step further, creating a state called Texlahoma. So before I finish this episode, I would like to talk a little about it and its statistics. This state would look something like this. It would have a size similar to Iowa, my home state, a population similar to that of Montana, and a GDP similar to that of South Dakota. If this state were to exist, Oklahoma would have to be much more okay with it than Texas would, as Oklahoma would lose 4 to 5 times more people and land area than Texas would in this situation. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you learned something, and I'll see you all in a week.